Hello. Thank you all for the lurks. I'm gonna be starting off with some steno practice. I already did about 30 minutes already. But I haven't tried these exercises. So you'll get to see how difficult it is for me right now currently. So we have first, we have the lookup for me to be able to look up words without having to click to the dictionaries, which are right here. My Q&A dictionary, it automatically format stuff like 1, 2, 3, 4. Format it like this, which is called colloquy. It's when attorneys are and the witness are talking to, like, the judge, or the judge is talking to everyone else. And this is called a byline. This is when the attorneys launch into Q&A. So that's what the Q is for. It's fun doing Q&A, but I'm not actually trying to become a court reporter. I already work in legal transcription. I'm not actually that fond of it. I prefer to do captioning. Let me make sure that I'm connected. Not. I'll do this for 30 minutes and then I'll switch over to apologize.
Hello, welcome to the drill portion of the 60 class. Today we're going to start out with some basic briefs that you probably have learned in theory, hopefully. And I'm going to go down a list of basic briefs from theory. If you don't know what it is, then go ahead and write it out, okay? Ready? Whether, continue, request, question, between, machine, accomplish, afternoon, remit, material, problem,
I'm not gonna remember.
program, become, became, event, eventually,
Cram,
perhaps, depth, width, length, strength, concern, observe,
concern,
opposite, department, ordinary, superintendent, appreciate, appreciation, represent, representative. Okay, I have a drill for you, and it covers word families that start with C-O-M. I'm going to give you the word first before I give you the sentences. Ready? And a lot of these, you can do what's called a squeeze, like comment. You can squeeze that, K-O-M-T. Commend, you can squeeze that, K-M-E-N-D, commend. Committee, you can squeeze that, K-M-I-T, and then you just come back for long E or the A-E. Complete. A lot of people use the brief P-L long E-T for complete, pleat. Okay, all right, here we go. Ready? Comment. Communicate.
Wait.
commend, compare.
These are just word lists. Thornton. I'll just do the Q&A.
Hello, welcome to
He was
the
giving
60
me like
Q&A
100
practice.
words to memorize.
We're going to finish off the Q&A regarding the car accident. So remember your briefs that I gave you. You're going to hear vehicle, V long EK,
Vehicle.
skid mark, SKARK, roadway, ROI, after the accident, AEX, speed limit, SPLIMT, point of impact, POIKT, motorcycle, MOIK, ambulance, BLANS, and seatbelt, SBELT, S and then belt. The last one is before the accident. So before the accident is BEX, after the accident, AEX. Ready? This is going to be plaintiff. Here we go. Did you get out of your vehicle after the accident? Yes, sir. Did you notice any skid marks on the roadway? No. Nothing further. Mr. Sagan, cross-examination. Thank you. How fast were you going at the time of the impact? I would say about 35 or 40. What is the posted speed limit there? I want to say 50. Are you sure that is the speed limit? Pretty sure. Okay. What was the point of impact? Where on your vehicle did the motorcycle hit? On the back of my vehicle, near the left tail light. Were you wearing a seat belt before the accident? Yes. Okay. Did you call an ambulance? Yes, sir. As soon as I pulled over after the accident, I called an ambulance so they could check on the driver of the motorcycle. Okay, we're going to switch transcripts.
Hey.
This is going to be plaintiff attorney. Ready? Would you state your full name for the record, please?
Would you state your full name is an entire
Lawrence
thing?
Patrick Adams.
What? Hold up.
Where are you presently?
Hold up. I didn't even know. Okay. Would you state your full name? Burn. Whoa! Look how fast it makes me look like I'm going. 335. Whoa! Beep beep. Why isn't my hat up? Makes me look like I'm going so fast. I don't think. gonna be a little rough. Alright, so. Try that again.
Employee's name would to be plaintiff attorney. Ready? Would you state your full name for the record, please? Lawrence Patrick Adams. Where are you presently employed? In the city of Chicago. In what capacity? Police officer assigned to the robbery division. For how long have you been so employed? 19 years. Were you ever employed with any other police department before the city of Chicago? With the city of Rockford? Did you receive your police training at the Illinois State Academy? Yes, I did. As part of that training, were you taught how to write and prepare reports for all types of situations, robberies, traffic violations, murders, assault and battery, etc.? Yes, that's correct. Would you tell me very briefly what is the specific purpose of writing a detailed robbery report? To document the occurrences of the robbery, what happened prior to and during the robbery and after. For what purposes is that report written? For use at later dates as documentation for statistical purposes, follow-up investigations, apprehending suspects. So you take down statements, etc., to assist you in the investigation? That is correct.
Our investigation.
Were you called to the scene of this particular robbery? Yes, I was. How were you called to the scene? By radio call. A dispatcher. You were in a black and white vehicle. A marked police vehicle. Yes. Were you the only investigating officer? No, there was one other officer that assisted me. My partner, Kenneth Nash. Another unit arrived approximately 3 to 4 minutes after we did as a backup. Is that a common practice? Yes, sir. Is it correct that one officer has primary responsibility for the investigation? Normally, yes. Who was that? That was myself, my partner, and I. What determines who is primary? The officer who receives the call. At this particular time, it was our area, and it was our assigned call. Then the other unit just happened to be coming by and saw the investigation going on. No, they also copied the radio call and pulled in to assist us, as it was an armed robbery. Do you have any memory today of what took place on that particular day? I remember the day very clearly, yes. Obviously, details like dates and times and names and things like that, you can only remember from the report? That is correct, yes. That concludes our Q&A practice for the 60 class. Have a great day.
I fucked up so bad on that one. I couldn't keep up. There were too many, like, really specialized breaks. That one was really... I can't believe the drill was just words. Why is the act... Used to be lit JC. Now it's this. Okay. Well, that's it. Getting restless. Accidental. Man, why do I keep doing that? I'll have to edit that out later. Marker. What was I gonna do? Exit out of all the Plover windows. I mean Plover. Now it's Plover, not Plover. Never pronounce it correctly. Oh, got scared again that I doxed my... It is so risky doing the display capture. I don't understand how so many people... Well, I guess their names are already known. Like, probably... Or, already known. So... We're gonna switch over to apologists. Oh, whoops. At this one. Okay, I'll go for at least 2 hours. Depending on how I feel. I'll probably add more time to the timer. Oh, flashing. Thank you for the lurk. Episode 2, Turnabout Corner. As long as we draw breath, the wheel of fate turns. Spinning big crimes and little crimes together. And when the wheel stops... Whoa! You die. June 15th, 9:12 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Time for my voice. 2 months have passed since Mr. Gavin's arrest. My first trial, and I lost both my mentor and my job. Yeah, I'll admit it, I was screwed. But even when I hit rock bottom, I told myself I'd never come here. Honest. Here being the legendary Wright & Co. Law Offices. Okay, Justice, time to stop trembling. Ah, you must be here for the interview, right this way. Huh? Hello there! You found the right place. Welcome! What's with this girl? Well now, shall we begin? Begin what? Right, first things first. Any special talents? Talents? Yes, well, you must have at least one. Well, I guess offending? Offending. An unusual talent, but it'll do. With a little jazzing up, of course. You think so? Let's give it a go, shall we? Huh? Go ahead, show me! Defend! Just give it all you've got! Don't hold back now! What are you talking about? I can't just defend here. First lesson, a professional can perform anywhere. Thanks. We want people to be laughing with us, not at us. Thanks. I'm not sure why they should be laughing at all. What? What exactly do you think you came here to do? What? Defend. No? Excuse me, but do you know where you are? Huh? The Wright & Co. Law Offices, right? Oh. I was afraid of that. Don't worry, you're not the first. Look, what's going on here? Who are you? I came here to meet with the person in charge. Well, you've apparently made no fewer than 2 mistakes. Mistakes? But I got a call from Mr. Wright this morning. Perhaps you should go read the sign out front again? What's there to read? Look, it says right here. Oh. Why does it say Wright Talent Agency? Welcome to the Wright Talent Agency, where you've always come to the right place. I'm Trucy Wright, CEO. I'm a magician. It all came flooding back. The trial. That girl. That damn smile. Hello, sir. Please pick a card. cute! That's right. She's my daughter. Brucey, right. Here, check out our flyer. So, what's your name? Paulo Justice, attorney at law. So, really a talent agency? You bet. Daddy started it 7 years ago when he quit law. Of course, we only have 2 people signed up right now. 2 people? Does that include you? Brucey Wright, magician extraordinaire. I've done a lot of stage shows. Paid too. I am a professional, you know. Right. Promise you'll come to one of my shows, okay? Oh, and the other person our agency represents is Phoenix Wright, pianist extraordinaire. Your dad, in other words. Didn't he say he couldn't play the piano? Our agency doesn't see that as a problem. Why, there are many magicians who can't do magic. At least you're optimistic, I'll give you that. So you're Phoenix Wright's daughter? That's right. After Daddy quit law 7 years ago, I promised I would keep him fed. So I'm kind of his sugar daddy. Got it? No. I'm in charge of this whole office, too. Pretty amazing for a young lass of 15, wouldn't you agree? 15? How old is Mr. Wright? Daddy? Oh, he's 33 this year. I'm sure there's a good explanation. I hope. About Mr. Wright giving up law. It was because of that incident 7 years ago, wasn't it? Eh? You know about that? Not the details. I remember the news, though. It was a big deal. So I hear. I was too young to understand what was going on. I'll ask Daddy about it next time I get a chance. Daddy, right. That reminds me. About Mr. Wright. He gave me a call this morning to come in. Daddy's not here right now. The hospital. The hospital? Yeah, he's on strict bed rest until he gets better. What? Okay. Which hospital's Mr. Wright in? I'll pay him a visit. Oh, the Hickfield Clinic. It's quite close. Right. Well, I'll be going now. And I'll, give this showbiz gig some thought, okay? Wait! I'll go with you! Damn, this hospital room is stacked. He has so much manga here. So, this is Mr. Wright's hospital. No, not him! Ew, they brought him back. Visitors, are you? Yeah. Are you the doctor? Yep. Dr. Hickfield's the name. Good morning, doctor. Oh, hiya there. Good as ever. Is this Daddy's room? Oh, yeah. Except he's gone for a morning checkup. Be back soon. How are you, Miss Tracy? Got any places you, examined? Doctor, the nurse was looking for you? Why, if it isn't the daddy of the cutest little thing in town. Guess I'll be off then. Later, Tracy. Disgusting. Wow, what an odd bird that guy was. Pretty sure he's a pedophile. Why did they bring him back? He asked if he could examine places of a 15-year-old girl. Disgusting. Good morning. Didn't expect you so soon, Apollo. You're right. I'm moving my steno machine out of the way. It's always under my desk. I can examine the room, if I should. A swaying, spiraling stack of DVD cases. The Steel Samurai. The Nickel Samurai. The Pink Princess. The Zappy Samurai. Electric Bugaboo. They're all children's action hero shows. This kid I know keeps sending them to me. Huh, like a niece or nephew? Something like that. Quite the collection! This kid's parents must be really generous with their allowance. Funny, the Wright doesn't seem the type that kids would like. Mr. Wright's bed. Really messy. Look how messy this is. You're just hopeless without me, aren't you, Daddy? Yikes. It's tempting to clean up. Look out! You got me. What can I say? I was raised in a barn. Try not to let word get out, Apollo, if you don't mind. Yeah, it might ruin your illustrious career pretending to play the piano. What's that on TV? Looks like some sort of action hero show. Oh, I know that one. That's the Sniffling Samurai. His booger flick attack is a big hit with the grade school crowd. I had no idea you like this kind of stuff, Mr. Wright. Well, what else is there to do when you're stuck in bed? Besides, the episodes will just keep piling up if I don't keep up, you know? Yeah. Why not buying them? Now's the only time I get to watch and write my reports. Your reports? It's a long story. Like a lot of things, actually. This looks like a child's toy piano. Gotta practice. Wouldn't want my fingers to get stiff. A pro always keeps his weapon close at hand. Shall I play you a tune? No thanks. Ah, how unfortunate. I so rarely get a chance to play. That's it. So, what happened? Who could have imagined it? Me, victim of a hidden run. A hidden? You were hit by a car? Oh, he tried to swerve, I'll give him that. Picture me tossed 30 feet through the air, only stopping when my head hit that telephone pole. You hit a telephone pole with your head? Are you okay? Thankfully, my only injury was a sprained ankle. Really is as lucky as they say. There's something that... Oh, this doesn't sit right. Just can't believe you have a daughter, Mr. Wright. And she's so big. Not fat, but, you know what I mean. Oh, Trucy's still a child. Daddy, how many times do I have to remind you? I'm not a child anymore. Will you always be Daddy's little baby girl to me, Trucy? My foot. I'm not buying it. Oh, something you should know about Trucy. She's a magician, right? She told me. Not a mere stage magician. She's a genius. Aw, Daddy. You'll soon come to appreciate her talent. Quit just tell me things instead of insinuating them. So, why did you contact me? What could the right talent agency possibly want with me? No need to get prickly now. Hey, I didn't ask to be dragged in like this. Huh? But didn't you come into the office of your own free will anyway? Well, yeah, of course. Help! We're in big trouble here at the office! Big! I thought someone was dying. So you don't think this is big trouble? My talent agency represents only 2 people, and one of them is in the hospital. That's right, Daddy. How are we gonna pay this month's rent? And the groceries? Yeah, that's the problem with such a tight operation. It's a symbiotic relationship. When one of us falls, the other 2 must fall. Hey, this isn't exactly a suitable conversation to be having with a 15-year-old kid. In any case, if Apollo here can't help you, you'll have to transfer to a new school. Again. No, I can't. Just my friends. How could you do this to me? To us? Polly! Oh, what? Now it's my fault? On that note, how about you come work with us? I've got the perfect client for you already lined up. A client? You mean I get to do my job? I get to defend in court? Alright, I'll hear what you have to say. You got him, Daddy. Hook, line, and sinker. Now it's time to reel him in. It's official. I'm scared. Alright, so who's the client? Yes. Here, take a look at the map and I'll explain. Last night, I left the office just before 9 o'clock. I was going to that Indochine pasta joint, Al Dente's. Al Dente's. I play piano there, of course. That's when it happened. The car sent me flying, nicked a telephone pole, and zoomed away. Creepy, huh? Just a tad. Almost as creepy as hearing you tell the story like it was no big deal. The car sped off in this direction. The right. So, good luck. Huh? You wanted a client, didn't you? Well, I'm your client. Find the guy who knocked me into that telephone pole. Whoa! Hold on, horsey. I'm a defense attorney, not a detective. Don't worry. Once you found the guy, I intend to sue him. Then you can stick it to him in court. Not a prosecutor either. It'd be plaintiff's attorney. Not a prosecutor. I'm sorry, but this is crazy. I'm going home. Don't get so worked up. It was just a joke. Huh?
Oh, Daddy. Sorry, Apollo. He just loves jokes, you know? Really unfunny jokes. Even the ones that aren't funny.
She and me are on the same page. Your real client should be stopping by the office anytime now.
The office? You mean the talent agency?
No harm in going. Not like I have anything else to do. One more thing. Do look into my accident too, would you? I marked the scene of the tragedy on this map. It's right in front of this park. Should be easy to find.
So, he's going to make me investigate this after all.
Hey, hey, hey! How long are you planning on making me wait, eh?
Ah, good morning!
Hey there, Trucy doll. Sounds like your pops had a bit of a rough spot, eh?
All's well that ends well, I guess.
This is our client? Hey, so this is that Apollo fellow, eh?
Oh, yes? The name's Apollo.
Look at him there, arms all crossed like, ready to fight.
Yes, sir. You don't mean that literally, do you?
I love the combination of the bull hat and his hair looking like, Damen. That's cute. The boss told you what you need. The boss told you what I need, right? Don't let me down now, Paulo.
Don't worry about your defense, sir. I'm on it.
Defense? Your noodle half-cooked? It's too late for defense. My castle's been stormed. My keep's been kept. My noodle stand's been stolen.
Noodle? You know Mr. Eldon from the noodle stand, don't you, Polly?
No nicknames, please. And no, of course I don't know him. You new in these parts?
Not really.
Then you know the best noodles in town. Eldon's Noodles.
Whose noodles?
My noodles. Help me out here, Trucy doll.
This is Mr. Guy Eldon. Guy Eldon? Guy Eldon? I don't know what that means.
What kind of pun is that?
Our client. Maybe you can tell us what the problem is, Mr. Eldon?
Anything for you, Trucy doll.
A strange split box leers at me from the wall. Is this one of those boxes for cutting people in half? That's right. This cabinet is used for an illusion called the zigzag.
Seen one on TV. But why is one just sitting here in your office?
Oh, it's a little big for me, you see. So I'm using it as furniture. Hats in the top, shirts in the middle, and pants down below. I think it's a nice touch, don't you think?
Not exactly what I'd call a welcoming decor. That table doesn't look very sturdy.
You've never seen one of these? It's a magic table.
So, like, to make this teapot disappear?
So you might think, but that's not it. Before your very eyes, the contents of the pot change. From Earl Grey to Darjeeling.
Kinda hard to see the difference, I think. All these legal books must be Mr. Wright's leftovers. There's a lot of unrelated books in here, too. One Trick a Day, Magic for Idiots. You think a pro magician would aim a bit higher.
Ah! Don't touch Mr. Charlie!
Mr. Charlie?
He's been in this office much longer than I have. Daddy's mentor had a great fondness for Mr. Charlie. He's lived here since Daddy was a rookie attorney.
Huh. Mr. Charlie. Right.
Now, I take care of him.
A blue silk hat, just like the one Trucy is wearing.
Oh, that's just for show. Don't wear it, please. Last thought from my mind, honest. I put it there so clients can see it and know who I am. Nothing says magician like a silk top hat. An old sepia-tinted photo of a man in a silk top hat. That's my favorite magician. I want to be just like him someday. Sure. Nice. Guess it's good to have a role model, even if he's gotta be well over 100. How rude! What? What, she can read minds? There are all sorts of strange paraphernalia sitting on top of the piano. Those are my magic props. Practice, practice, practice. A professional never leaves their weapons far from reach. But you can't play the piano with all this junk on it. Oh, no one plays here anyway, and the neighbors complain. I guess, mister, I really can't play. Whoa! That fork is floating! Not. Why do you have a plate of plastic spaghetti here? That right there is the whole reason I became a magician. Do tell. I saw a plate just like that in a restaurant once. The floating fork looked so real. That's when I knew. Someday, I'd make magic more amazing than that spaghetti. That's one of those hula hoop things everyone was crazy about way back then. Really? I had no idea these were that popular. No, so bad with one myself, actually. Eh? I'm still learning. So you can really make someone levitate with it? Show me! Huh? I have no idea how. It's a normal hula hoop, isn't it? I think that's it for the things to look at. Yep. So, you run a noodle stand, Mr. Eldon. E. Eldon's the name, and noodles are my game. The secret's in the soup. I've been searching for the perfect soup for a year and a half. Oh, that's not that long, really. My family's been noodle men for generations. Got a lot of expectation on my shoulders. 15 fathers passing the noodle to 15 sons. That's a pretty old noodle. Hey, and fool that I was, I pushed it away. I rebelled against my pops and picked another livelihood, but that didn't turn out so well. Oh. There was no denying it. Salty broth runs through these veins, boy. So, it was like destiny that you became what you are? Right, destiny's the word. Oh, I fought it. But in the end, I was bound by the twisted noodle of fate. Not a mental image I care to linger on. So last year, I started my noodle stand. The 15th generation of Eldon's noodles. So tell me more about Eldon's noodles. You don't know the genius that are my noodles? I make them so salty why they're saltier than salt. Now I really don't want to find out. Daddy's a regular at his noodle stand. He frequented my pops' stand back during his attorney days too. Yep, him and his assistant. I'm sorry. I'll be sure to drop by your stand soon. Wish you could, Sonny. Eh? Heck, I wish I could. I'd give anything for a bowl about now. What do you mean? It was stolen. My stand gone. Stolen? Oh, it's noodle backwards. That his name is Noodle backwards. Okay. It was last night. I was doing my rounds, blowing my whistle. It's like an ice cream truck's bell, but louder. He even gets complaints. Now you're just trying to butter me up. That sounded more like the blues than a whistle. I closed my stand for the night and popped by the house. Then this morning, dark and early, it was gone. My keep, my castle. Ooh! Maybe some bum carted it off? Just guessing here. Well, I don't care who did it. Without that stand, I'm finished. All my noodle bowls were in there too. The saddest thing I've heard all day. You know it. Anyhow, that's the deal. Good luck. Huh? Wait, what exactly is your request? My noodle stand, find it. And the day you bring my baby back is the day you feast on as many noodles as you want. Of course, I make it so hot and salty, 2 bowls would kill the man. Then I'd really need a defense. Speaking of defense, that's what I do. I'm a lawyer, not a detective. This is where I live. You drop by if you need any info, okay? Get it back today if you can, Paulo. I got noodles to make. Things have certainly taken a turn for the bizarre. Traffic accidents and noodle stand thieves.
Actually, there was something I wanted to ask you about too, Apollo.
Huh? I have a bad feeling about this. I listen to the lady's problem now. Don't be cruel. Oh, excuse me. Did not mean to do that. My bad.
I lost something last night. That is, something was stolen.
Hey, what's this? More thieving and skullduggery?
Well, someone stole a pair of my...
Aunties? So they were, stolen. Your,
My panties, yes.
right. Aunties. That's a crying shame, that is, Trucy doll.
I was alone in the office last night. I had hung my panties out the window there to dry. When a thief came and took them, my favorite panties. I ran after him. Give those back, I shouted. Wait!
What the fuck is this perverted ass storyline? Why are we doing this? I was so excited for this game, and then first they hit me with the pedophile, and now we're talking about a panty thief.
Well, that was certainly brave of you. But I lost him. Without those panties, I don't know what I'll do.
A darn crying shame, yep.
Well, at least the scene of the crime is convenient. I'll mark it on your map.
I'll be heading home now. Remember, find my stand or there's an empty bowl in your future, Paulo. Right. And you help out Trucy doll here too, you hear?
Things have certainly picked up, haven't they? We had no work yesterday, and now we have 3 cases.
I guess.
Let's see where we stand.
Not in a courtroom, that's where. Well, the first item on our list.
Phoenix right. Patty's hit-and-run accident. We have to find the one who hit him.
Who's gonna pay for this again?
And the second item, Mr. Eldune's request to find his stolen stand.
For which we stand to gain, full of salty noodles.
The last request is mine, to find my stolen panties.
That bowl of noodles is looking better and better.
Let's go, Polly, to the streets.
Aren't you enthusiastic?
How could I not be? Let's crack these cases, you and me.
Guess we might as well get started. Let's see, a hit and run, a stolen stand, and last but not least, stolen panties. Huh? Mr. Wright's gone.
Maybe he's gone for an examination?
Probably be back soon. Let's wait.
I think it might take some time. Daddy always loves his examinations.
Don't ask, Justice. You don't want to know.
Why don't we come back later?
Yeah, I guess you're right. So this is where Mr. Wright got hit by that car?
According to the map, this is the place.
Huge mansion.
Apollo, there's a nice-looking lady over there. Let's question her.
Okay. I'm a little curious about the park over there, too.
Excuse me. Can we have a few words with you?
You want something? Whoa, that husky voice. Why am I suddenly sweating?
That's quite a house you've got there. Must have a lot of money.
Oh, money sounds like something my son would call his friends. This is the Kitaki family mansion, little girl. Eh? You, kid with the hair. You want something? Me? No, not a thing. Bye!
Apollo, we can't leave without questioning her. What if she knows something?
But the Kitaki family, they're the biggest organized crime syndicate in town. If you're going to ask something, ask it. If you're man enough. Oh, right!
Yay! Way to whip him into shape, ma'am.
Does she know no fear? I'm Plum Kitaki, wife of the... Whoops. Wife of the fourth head of the Kitaki family business. Friends call me Little Plum. I'm a little Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Gulp. Looks could kill. This one would be a mass murderer by now. There's paint splashed all over this gate. What a mess.
Was this paint knocked over by the car that hit my daddy?
That's right. And I'm left to clean up the mess. If you find whoever did this, bring the scoundrel by, would you?
Of course. Then you can make them clean up their own mess.
You're cute. Naive, but cute. When I find whoever did this, you can bet I'll be doing some cleaning. There's nothing I dislike so much as a mess.
Oh! I wish I could say things like that.
I'll bet you do. I'd laugh if my teeth weren't chattering so hard. Brightly painted dragon. Why do I get the feeling he's glaring at me? Those paints must have been to repaint this wall. That's right. I called it an artist to do the right job. He's the third so far. The third? The first spilled paint all over the entrance here. The second on my kimono. So No, don't tell me. It's better that I don't know.
Wow, what a big house! The gate is so big.
The Kitaki family is pretty big around these parts.
I like the fox. It's so cute.
That's our family's crest from the old country.
Your family crest?
We're clever as the fox and our teeth are sharp.
So it's like a motto. You need a crest too, Apollo. Ooh, how about the Scales of Justice? Or Lunar Lander?
I'll pass, thanks. That's it. Yep.
Little Plum? That's a really cute name for someone so...
Yes? Whoa!
What is it, Apollo?
How about you go through me when talking to her, okay, Trucy?
Huh? That seems like a bit of a needless procedure.
I'm a lawyer. I live for needless procedures. Oh, little girl, you should know we're gangsters.
Oh, that means you're the bad guys.
Trucy, through me, please! I'm begging you here! The bad guys. I like the sound of that. I'm gonna need some warm tea after this. It takes a lot of hard work to protect a family fortune. Things aren't as easy as they used to be for us bad guys.
So you're saying that business is in a slump?
Let's not ask about business if we can help it, please. So, there was supposedly a car accident here last night. Last night? Of course you wouldn't know about it. Sorry to bother you. Wait. Yes? You're talking about that man, aren't you? The one who flew 30 feet and just walked away?
That's my daddy.
I should have known. One of our capos thought he'd make a great point man.
Capo? Point man?
Could you avoid using too much, industry lingo? In any case, it's been nothing but trouble. I've been cleaning up this mess this morning. Bah! Cleaning up this paint? Was this paint spilled at the time of the accident? It was around 9 last night. I heard a crashing noise and found your father drowning in a sea of paint.
So you came to his rescue?
You've my husband, the boss, to thank for that. The car that hit your father knocked over this paint, then turned the corner and sped away. We're in the middle of repainting our wall, you see. I'm sure that dragon is glaring at me.
But why are you out here cleaning it up?
What do you mean?
I mean, aren't you a gangster? Don't you have any goons to do your dirty work for you?
Please, go through me when you want to. Don't be such a stiff, lawyer boy. I suppose we gangsters do have a certain image. Yes. But we're community-oriented gangsters, you see. The boss likes to give back to the people, see? How noble of him. I availed myself of the public facilities to get rid of all the garbage. Now there's just the pain on the street to deal with. Public facilities? I wonder if she means that trash can. Who's that? Looking at the park.
Pretty. I bet she has a story, you know?
There is something about her, but she seems to be in a bit of a rush. Personally, I'm a little more interested in this park.
You know what I think? I bet they're filming a movie. Let's go take a look. Maybe we'll see someone famous.
Hey, miss, stay out of the park!
Got mad at me.
Did something happen here, officer? Huh? No. Move along. Nothing to see. Why don't you kids go play someplace else? We're not kids and we're not playing. I'm an attorney. Something wrong? Detective Sky. We're fine, ma'am. Nothing to report.
It's her! From the first game! From the first Ace Attorney game. It's her! She was a little girl.
Detective?
Why is she wearing a lab coat?
You're hardly one to comment on how people are dressed. And these kids are... curiosity seekers, ma'am. They claim to be lawyers.
Why don't you kids run along and play someplace else?
Look, we're not...
Or I might spill something on that pretty face of yours. Want a dose of experimental hydroxyapatite trace? Come again? What's hydrox stuff?
Whatever it is, it doesn't sound good. Let's go, Trucy. Try to keep out the riffraff if you would. Yes, ma'am. How are we gonna get more information like this?
Why don't we ask that nice woman across the street?
Oh yes, that nice woman. Gulp. Can I ask you a question?
What?
What happened in the park across the street?
Oh yes,
Quite the commotion. Chicago lightning, as the boss would say.
Chicago, huh?
Gunfire. Someone was killed. Strange circumstances, too. You're kidding! What a morning! Trouble everywhere. The park, the gate, even our house.
Something happened at your house too?
A crime without honor, without remorse. It's a private matter. Want to hear about it?
Somehow, I don't think no is an acceptable answer, Polly.
So, what happened at your house? Bloomers, last night.
Huh? Got a bad feeling about this. She got her Ponty stolen too.
Me, little Plum Kitaki, the victim of a panty snatcher.
What? So it wasn't just my Ponties that were stolen?
Got you too, did they? Poor thing. Like I said, whoever did this is a hardened criminal. It wasn't you, was it?
No, of course not. Mercy!
I've heard word that Ponties have been disappearing lately. And the missing Ponties all have something in common.
Hard to imagine Trucy and Mrs. Kitaki's Ponties having much in common. I just imagine Mrs. Kitaki's Ponties.
Gulp. Sexy, I guess.
I know. We'll find your bloomers too.
Great. Show me what you're made of. What have you gotten me into this time, Trucy? That girl from before. Oh, welcome home, sweetie.
Hello, Mother.
The Kitaki too?
Miss! Here, our flyer. Right? Anything agency?
Anything agency?
Yeah. Do you like the new flyer? So, this is our defense attorney, Mr. Apollo Justice. Attorney? Drop by our office. We'll be waiting. Goodbye.
What did you give her, a flyer?
I don't know. She seemed like she could use some help.
She's the heiress to a gangster dynasty. She doesn't need our help.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Looks like there's some trouble by the park gate.
I smell an incident.
Ma'am, there's no entries to the park.
Now, don't you tell me where I can't go, young fella. I always walk through this park on my way home.
Please get down from there. You'll hurt yourself, ma'am. That's quite a determined old lady. I gotta say, I'd really like to know what happened here. Hey, I said no one goes in. Unless you want a face full of
what's it?
No dice. There's a big trash can on the way on into the park. I guess we could check it out.
A detective's life sure is a hard one.
I'm an attorney, actually. Huh?
2 pieces of garbage with paint on them.
These are slippers. They look like those slippers you get at the hospital.
Look at this, Apollo. Didn't this go in a car?
Side view mirror. Looks like it was torn off when it smacked into something. Or someone.
Wait, you don't think...
I do. This could be from the car that hit Mr. Wright.
Wow, and he took off its mirror? I never knew Daddy was so strong. I only have room in my pocket for one of these, though. Which do you want to take?
The slippers.
Slippers for patients at the Moractus Clinic was found in front of Kentucky Mansion.
Whoops.
The bottom is covered with paint. Huh? This weird shape here. It looks like a leaf was stuck to the bottom when the wearer stepped in some yellow paint.
So the outline was left when the leaf was removed.
Ah! I got paint on my hand! Apollo, I saw you try to wipe your hand on my cape. Scene of the stand theft.
So, what's this place?
This would be Mr. Aldoon's house, silly.
Oh, so this is where his stand was stolen from. I see a piece of evidence lying on the ground already.
Hey! Look, there's a police car parked over there.
You're right. What's with the sparkly entrance? What is this place? A hospital?
There's a sign. Moractus Clinic. Oh, that's where the thief went.
The thief?
The one who snatched my panties. He ran into this clinic last night.
Wait,
Maybe that police car is here to find my panties.
I doubt it.
Well, there's only one way to be sure. Let's investigate.
There you are, Sonny.
Well, you find anything yet?
No, not yet.
The longer you loaf around here, the saltier your victory ball gets. Just remember that.
This bowl of noodles is sounding less like payment and more like punishment.
This house is... well, it's old. It's been well loved, that's for sure. I've lived here with my wife for many years now. It's got character, though, just like my suit.
I always thought character was a positive thing.
That's the place, right there.
That's where I kept my stand, covered all nice and pretty with our blue top right there.
So you used this plastic sheet to cover your stand at night? I see.
You see what? Did you figure out why he was stolen?
Well, no, but it does suggest that the thief knew what he or she was looking for. They clearly knew what was under that sheet.
So it wasn't one of those casual drive-by stand snatchers, you mean? Not bad, sonny boy, not bad at all.
The doggy. Look, a doggy! Good boy, Salty.
I'm sure the dog has a real name, Trucy. Yep, sure does. Named Spoon. And it's a she, by the way.
Spoon doesn't seem so lively.
She didn't get her bowl of salty broth this morning, that's why. Poor little thing.
Apollo, let's find that stand soon, for Spoon's sake.
Pretty sure dogs aren't supposed to eat noodles, especially incredibly salty ones. There's a handwritten sign here. Save the light.
Save the light? Indeed. Mr. Eldon's house is practically in the dark here.
I guess the hospital clinic next door blocks the sunlight. Everything's gone wrong since they built this monstrosity. Broth needs sun or it rots. What's a man to do? They just want my customers to get food poisoning so they can turn a pretty profit. That seems like a lot of trouble to go through for a few extra patients. It looks like the oil drum is connected to that sink over there.
We'll add some rainwater to do the dishes. How environmentally conscious.
You don't think he uses rainwater to cook his noodles and to make the broth, do you?
Oh, I'm sure he finds the best water money can buy. Taste is his business, you know? Look, that sign over there. Eldunes only use water from all natural sources.
I think I'll take a rain check on eating here. That's quite a sign. I take it that's new as opposed to old. Oh, you like it? Made it myself, I did. Meant to write noodles, but ran out of space.
Prior planning prevents poor performance.
Luckily for me, it spells a word all by itself and spruces up my image, it does. It does have a certain power of willful denial thing going on for it. That's it.
That doorway sure is sparkly.
The miraculous clinic, huh? Looks more like a casino parlor than a hospital. It must be quite profitable.
Funny, it looks closed. Maybe they're on vacation today?
Looks like they have a special offer going on.
3 shots for the price of 1. Ooh, now's our chance, Apollo!
Chance for what? I don't need any shots, thank you. Whoever runs this clinic, they seem pretty business-minded. I'd understand if there was an ambulance outside, but a police car?
Maybe they're tax evaders.
Sorry, miss. No going into the clinic today.
Did something happen?
Huh? Oh, no. Nothing to see here. Move along. You'll have to find someplace else to play doctor. Do we look like the right age to be playing doctor? You need a little more info on this miraculous clinic.
We could ask Mr. Eldun. He is their neighbor after all. And we should check out that garage. What if the thief who stole my Ponties is still in there?
So your stand, Eldun's Noodles, was it? Aye, passed down from my father to son. That stand's seen its share of salt, Salt runs in the family, you might say. I bet high blood pressure does too. So your stand, Eldun's Noodles, was stolen. Oh, it wasn't just the stand that was stolen, sonny boy. I lost those wobbly wheels, my salt-crusted stew pot, my stained sign. I didn't just lose a stand, I lost a legend.
No one steals a legend and gets away with it on my watch. Let's find that legend, Apollo.
Isn't it about time you bought a new one anyway? Are there any more details you could give me about the stand? You bet, sonny boy. It happened last night. Was blowing my whistle like always, crying the town I was. The smell of broth filled the streets, thick and salty. I got home, well, right before 10 p.m. I reckon. Guess he's not aiming for that late night market. Washed my bowls and gave the wheels a squirt of grease. Then I went inside.
When did you notice it had been stolen?
Early this morning, before the sun rose. Work starts early.
Do that many people eat noodles for breakfast?
I'm washed up on the salty shores of ruination. That stand had my whole life in it. Nay, my whole being.
Took everything?
All my soup stock, my noodles, my bowls, and my dreams.
At least they left one bowl. Look, there, on the ground.
If you don't find that stand today, then I'll be forced to walk the streets peddling that bowl. My last bowl.
Please, I'm under enough pressure as it is.
That's it. That's where the thief who snatched my panties ran to. It's a crying shame, that is. They have to steal, making my loincloth, not some pretty girl's panties.
The garage, right. You don't think the thief lives here, do you?
Feh, I wouldn't put it past that good-for-nothing doctor.
Do I detect a little animosity here? Let's make sure to check out that garage thoroughly. Hey, do you think something happened next door? There's a police car out front.
Feh, probably gave someone food poisoning out there.
Anyone's at risk of giving someone food poisoning.
That police car got here this morning, actually. I asked what they were up to, but they wouldn't even tell me the neighbor. Feh. Not that I was surprised much. That doctor works for the wrong crowd. It's just a matter of time before he got what was coming to him. Feh.
Wrong crowd?
Never you mind about that.
The golden skeleton. Oh, and look, a tuxedo cat. He's so cute. Ooh, I want to pet its little head. This is the place. This is where that Ponty snatcher ran.
Are you sure?
Maybe. Let's look for clues. Clues to a panty snatching. Clues like a pair of panties.
Tristy, could you try not saying panties so many times? There's something about this car.
Let's take a closer look.
That reminds me. I once read a record of a case that Mr. Wright worked on many years ago. Apparently, there was this car with a piece of cloth shoved into the tailpipe. That piece of cloth turned out to be a vital clue to solving the case.
Wow!
I remember that case record whenever I'm checking out a car. I always check the tailpipe.
Everyone's gotta have a hobby, I guess.
Wouldn't it be funny if... Hey! There's something in there!
What?
Wait a second. Are these your...
Ah! My panties!
What? Already?
Wow, thank you, Apollo. You're a genius. Amazing.
No, really, don't mention it.
No, I'm serious. I'm really impressed. You must have a nose for finding girls' panties.
What are those?
My little panties, of course. They've come home to Mama. I can't wait to use them.
You're gonna put them on now?
Watch closely now. See? Nothing in the panties. Ta-da!
Whoa! Where did that come from? How did that bowl get in your panties?
My panties are an extra-dimensional space. Anything can fit in there. They're my magic panties. It's one of my best tricks.
Magic panties?
They love them over at the Wonder Bar. I do shows there nightly.
You mean those panties are a prop? You could have told me a little sooner!
Prop for performing magic. Found an exhaust pipe of a car at the Maracas Clinic.
Well, that's one case closed at least.
What are you saying? We still have to catch the sly devil that ran off with the tool of my trade.
Oh, right. He tells me we're not finished searching this garage anyway. Look, a cell phone.
Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moves, it would be crushed for sure.
I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here?
We should bring it to him later. Hey, look at that!
The mirror's been broken off. Now this is a clue.
What? You're smiling like you know something I don't. You aren't keeping a clue from me, are you, Polly?
Clue? Let's see. I think I do have just the clue you've got in mind.
Look at this cute little watch strap. I want one.
Kind of odd, though.
What is?
I mean, if you wanted to know the time, you could just look at the phone itself.
Hey, you're right. Sharp, Apollo.
Thanks. Finally, some respect.
Oh, what does that tell you?
Well, the owner of this phone doesn't think through the details, for one.
They did drop their phone after all. I kind of figured they were a little spacey already.
Oh, good point.
That's your clue? Sorry, but that leaves me feeling kind of clueless.
Like father, like daughter with the humor, apparently.
There's no need to bluff here, Apollo. Save that for the court.
Thanks for the advice. Okay.
Take that!
Huh. Oh, it's because I don't have it with me. My bad. I don't have the rearview mirror with me.
Hey, a kitty cat! Here, kitty kitty! Not coming down.
You do look kind of suspicious, you have to admit.
It's okay, kitty cat. His hair won't hurt you.
It's okay, kitty cat. She won't make you disappear in her hat.
Someone's there! Oh, it's just a gold-plated human skeleton.
Just a human skeleton? In painted gold?
There's a mannequin hand waving to us from the box behind the skeleton. This place just screams hospital storage, don't you think?
Seems something, that's for sure. More like haunted house storage. Look, it's a folding ladder.
Polly, that's called a step ladder. Come on!
Step ladder? How is that different from a regular ladder then?
It's a much more complex piece of machinery. It's like two ladders stuck together.
So you admit that basically it's a ladder, right?
Wait, huh?
You have to look past the form, at the essence of the thing.
Can we talk about something else?
Okay, so need to go back. It's always good to show them all everything. Always good to show them everything. Let's get the other thing instead. There's a side view mirror with some paint on it in this trash can. I can only carry one thing at a time in my pocket, you know?
Should I swap the slippers for the mirror?
Swap.
Sure, let's swap the evidence. Trucy, if you would.
I'm on it.
No. I meant to click back. Going to the clinic. I'm in the car. My clue is this! The thing in your pocket.
Whoa! It's the same color and size and everything! A perfect match!
I guess we could check it out.
Two pieces of garbage with paint on them. Look at this, Apollo! Doesn't this go on a car?
The side view mirror. Looks like it was torn off when it smacked into something. Or someone. Well, looks like we've just solved a case.
The car that hit Daddy last night.
It's sitting right in front of us, yep.
Wow! You put the pro in professional, Apollo!
Gee, thanks, Trucy.
Apollo!
Huh? What is it?
Now that we've solved this case, we should go report to Daddy. He'll mope if we leave him alone too long, knowing him.
Okay. He doesn't seem the type to mope, though. This is hardly a case worth reporting. Court record. Examine.
It's cut clean off. I wonder what's in there.
Don't. There are bare wires hanging out.
Let's see. Zap! Eek!
What? Are you okay?
Just a little joke.
Don't scare me like that.
You mean don't shock you? Zap!
What? I thought I was supposed to be here. Mr. Wright's bed. Wow, what a mess. Trucy must be in charge of cleaning at home. A swaying, spiraling stack of DVD cases. Looks ready to collapse. Better keep my distance. The television's been left on to an episode of The Steel Samurai. Looks like the same episode as before. Must be his favorite. Small children's piano. I guess the man likes pink. Well, what am I supposed to be doing then?
I'm so glad we found my panties.
I had no idea they were so important to you.
And in time for tonight's show, too. A lot of people come just to see my panties, you know?
You might not want to advertise it like that.
Oh, I've seen one of those before. That's an attorney's badge. It looks just like the one Daddy used to have. Now if I take this badge and do this, and this, see? It's gone!
Hey, my badge! What'd you do with my badge?
Don't need to worry. Look in your pocket.
Huh? No, wait. My pocket? A second, there's something in there. It's a flyer for your agency!
And here's your badge. You can have it back now.
That's the last time I let her touch anything of mine, period.
I found out who this mirror belongs to. Oh, you're tougher than you look. Spit it out. Who was it? Where do they live? I just forgot.
I remember, Apollo. It was the Miraculous Clinic. Shh. Why? I'm right, aren't I?
Miraculous, huh? Yes. Why is she so quiet all of a sudden? Is something wrong? No. Pay me no mind. And thanks for the info. People Park. Huh, kind of an odd name for such an empty place.
I wonder why it's named that. Hey, there's something written on the gate post.
Huh? Oh yeah, it says donated by Big Wins Kitaki.
You mean the Kitaki family built this park? So nice of them to give to the community like that.
Let's not get too friendly with them, shall we? A gangster building a park? Odd move for a crime boss. What do I do next? Is this yours, Mr. Uldoon?
Hey, that there's the heart and soul of Eldon's noodles. The bowl absorbs my salty soup. Pretty soon it's gonna taste just like noodles. Wow, it does smell like noodles. All my other bowls got taken away with my stand. Get it back from me, sonny boy. I'm begging ya. Bowl added to the court record.
Oh.
It's the Eldon's Noodles mascot. Mr. Salty. He's so cute.
It's not a very endearing mascot, is it?
No, to think of it, looks a lot like you, Apollo. Especially the red part.
Can I help it if I like red?
Ooh, look! I love these little personal touches.
Seems a shame to hide it on the bottom of the bowl. Huh? When I touched it, the paint flaked off.
You must have painted it on by hand with warm professional care.
After buying the cheapest paint he could find with cold professional thrift. You can tell my bowls by the Mr. Salty logo.
Mascot of Eldon's Noodles.
They come to the stand, they sip, they drink deep from that bowl, and when they see the bottom, their face looks just like Mr. Salty's. Genius, no?
Very high concept.
You can't ply a trade if you don't love the tools. Remember that.
Yes, sir.
Brucey has a thing for professionals, clearly.
Oh! Finally, something's gonna happen. Little Plum's not here. Not finished cleaning, huh?
Maybe she went to get a paint scraper? Okay, who's the wise guy who spit gum out on the street? Her voice carries all the way out to the street from inside the mansion.
He's a neat freak. How cute.
You there! It was you, wasn't it? Fess up! I hope you've said your prayers. You're gonna need them. Brucey, let's leave now. They're not letting anyone into the crime scene. The guard at the entrance is humming a song. It's got rhythm, actually. Maybe he plays in a band. Looks like that woman's still causing trouble. Look, no one goes in. That means you.
Oh, what's the difference? Let me go!
Ow!
Ow, 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 ow!
Sorry.
That's it, I'm suing! But I might change my mind for $5.
What is she, some kind of con artist? Apparently, this park was the gift of the Kitaki family. The Friendly People Park, brought to you by organized crime. Very naughty part of me is tempted to write "We Kill" on the left side of the sign.
How naughty of you.
Finally! Phoenix is here. Yo, how goes it?
Daddy, how do you feel?
Not bad, Trucy, not bad. It's good to have you youngins on the case. Let's old Daddy-o get some well-deserved R&R.
The elderly need their rest.
Isn't he only 33? We've cleared up most of the cases. I was right about you. Competent, capable. Tell me what you found out, if you want to. Your enthusiasm is overwhelming. What's that? Looks strangely familiar. How could you not recognize an attorney's badge? It's been 7 years. I've forgotten a lot of things. I guess some 7 years are longer than others. I've marked the location of the accident on your map. Find the criminal who knocked me into that telephone pole.
Look, my puppies! They came home to Mama.
Thanks, Apollo. I was worried about them too. Trucy special ordered those. Startling display of parental concern. I'd hate to have to buy a new pair. Make that a not so startling display of cheapskatedness. It's actually a relief to be so thoroughly ignored. So this was the thing that led you to the car? Yes, sir! The mirror you knocked off was just the clue we needed. Good work, Apollo. Of course, you might say, I was the one who made solving that case possible. You don't get points for knocking off a car mirror. Well, I certainly didn't expect you back this early.
Holly's amazing! He found my body so quick! Almost like he was the one who stole them!
You have an interesting concept of praise. And? Did you find the mad driver who gave me that 30-foot toss? Apparently, it was a doctor from the Moratkis clinic. Moratkis, huh? Moratkis, huh? I've heard of him. Nothing good, mind you. That reminds me, a police car was parked outside the clinic.
Maybe something happened?
What is this Moratkis clinic, anyway? All I've heard are the rumors. That clinic's been making good money, in a bad way. Bad? Tied to organized crime, the Kentucky family. The Kitaki family? You did that on purpose. Some injuries you can't take to a public hospital, see? They use the Moratkis clinic for their patch-up jobs. Interesting.
It looks like something had happened in the park.
A body was found there in unusual circumstances. Something more unusual than being dead? It's not our concern in any case.
Right, let's ignore that and find that noodle stand.
Whatever happened to professional curiosity? Thanks, really. If I get tired of sleeping, maybe I'll head down to this Moratkis place. Maybe hit him up for some reparation. A little legal action would do me some good. I was wondering when I get paid? We solved the case of your accident and, found a missing article of clothing.
My puppies!
That leaves the noodle stand. Eh? Feel free to drop in if you get stuck. I'd be happy to help with anything not involving money. Goodbye, quid pro quo. Hello, pro bono. Oh.
Right! Back to the office to plan our next move.
You're the woman from the Kitaki place.
Yes? I knew it! Something's the matter and you want our help, right? Well, you've come to the right place. Wait, please. Thank you. you. My name is Alita Tiala. Alita Tiala. Alita Tiala. Alita, I don't know. I don't know what this pun is either. I have a request. An attorney's badge. So you really are a defense attorney. Please, I'm counting on you. I need your help. I'm not sure I understand. I'm sorry.
No, it's me who's sorry, really. Sorry. Your request? Let me guess. Something's been stolen?
Your flyer. It says now defending, so I thought.
What? You mean you want me to defend you? Me?
Maybe you can tell us what happened? Were you hit by a car? Did someone steal your stands? Or your panties? No, I'm not the client actually. The client would be my fiance, I suppose you'd call him.
Fiance? What happened to him then?
He was arrested this morning. The charge was murder.
Murder?
Have you heard about what happened at the park?
So what's your story? You frequent the Kitaki mansion, yes? Are you a member of their, organization?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
You see, I'm to be married next month. The boss's son.
Boss's son? So he's a gangster.
Yes, but the Kitakis are locally responsible gangsters. I thought it'd be nice for a change. Quit my boring job, live a good gangster life.
I think you're onto something.
Mrs. Kitaki. I like the sound of that.
I'm not sure your daddy would care much for that. What happened?
I haven't been told all the details, but I do know a body was found in the park near the Kitaki mansion.
There were a lot of police cars there.
Apparently, the victim was shot with a pistol, but I hear the circumstances of the shooting were rather unusual.
And your fiance was arrested for this?
What sort of person is your fiance?
Your fiance is the Kitaki family's only son, correct?
His name's Waki Kitaki. I brought a photo.
Aw, he's cute! Well, that's quite the photo.
I know! Oh, he can be powerful and menacing, but so cute!
But if he's the boss's only son...
Yes, I'm sure he'll take his father's place someday.
Say, I'm a boss already, of this agency.
Please help my Waki, please?
Right. My first solo defense case. Crime boss's son or not, I'll prove he's innocent.
I prepared a letter of request. I know you need those. Right, let's go check out the scene of the crime.
But first, let's go to the detention center.
Holly, you look as happy as a clam in its shell.
For a lawyer, this is the place where the battle begins. You need something? Ah, yes, we're attorneys. I was hoping we could see Mr. Waki Kitaki. Sorry, Waki-talkie, like walkie-talkie.
That's the pun?
Sorry, he's in questioning right now. Could take a while.
Ha! Oh well, guess we'll have to come back later on.
So much for that battle. Security guard. He stands here watching this room. I have no idea if he's listening to us talk. I'm not even sure he's breathing. That security camera is looking at me. I wonder if they tape all of this. Hopefully. Oh look, there's a motorcycle out front. So this is it. My first murder crime scene. Oh, it's you kids again. Look, can't you find some other place to play?
We're not playing. We're, investigating. Aren't we, Apollo?
Sure, I have a letter of request here. Letter of... Huh? Why does it say hit request on it? Miss Tiala must have used the Kitaki stationery.
Excuse me, coming through.
It's you, Mr. Gavin. This guy. Must say I'm used to being inspected by the ladies, but this is the first time I felt this way with a man. Hello, I'm bisexual. My name is Mr. Bisexual, in fact. Mr. Gavin? One brother? Ah, Fraulein. What is a sweet monster like you doing in such a dismal place? Can I help?
I gave him a French accent. Fraulein. Yes, the policeman officer fellow here won't let us in. Even have a letter of request.
You must be exhausted standing out here. I will take you to the scene of the crime.
Oh, really?
By your leave, officer. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Aha, very well. This way, Fraulein. Hey, what about me? On that note, enjoy your... You know what? Let's see if I can't whip out a German accent. To Google Translate. Fraulein. Where is it? I accidentally opened up Bookwalker.
On that note, enjoy your investigation.
On the note.
Thank you. Will we see you again?
As the wind, Fraulein. I'll be waiting on it. Who is that?
Apollo, look! A corpse!
What? Hey, it's just a mannequin.
Wow, it sure got me.
Ahem, might I ask exactly what it is you're doing here?
Oh, it's you. How did you kids get in here? Oh, this guy, well, he was more like a prince, really. He let us in. Him again. That glamorous fop, always getting in my way. Anyway, this scene is off limits.
Excuse me? We have a letter of request.
One moment.
Why is she holding that big magnifying glass?
I'd recognize that handwriting anywhere. Scientific analysis says this was written by Alita Tiala.
Thanks. It took you 30 minutes to figure that out? So, what's up with the mannequin there?
It's taking the place of the body, preserving the scene of the crime as it was found.
The body was pulling the stand?
So you're a defense attorney, are you? Detective Emma Sky. I'm in charge of this crime scene. He doesn't seem that happy about it.
She doesn't seem that happy about many things.
I trust you know how to stay out of the way. I always carry 2 pairs of handcuffs, just in case. Hey there, no messing with the crime scene.
But we need to investigate.
Apollo! Look, that stand.
It
says Eldoon.
I've noticed. Well, we've solved the case of the missing stand at least. Though the circumstances could stand to be better.
Hey there, no messing with the crime scene. Investigations are to be carried out by professionals scientifically.
She's not going to let us check out the crime scene, is she?
Hey Apollo, my very unscientific analysis tells me something here is very suspicious.
I think I know what you mean. It's kind of hard not to notice. I better check out what we came here to find at least.
If you could spare a moment to take a look at this. Can't you see that I am extremely busy?
Eating snacks, yes.
Busy eating snacks, I'd say.
This is going nowhere fast. Seems like nothing works. So we just gotta ask questions. Detective Sky. Quiet, please. It's snack time.
We're not making much progress here.
You must not be very busy.
I never seem to get a lucky break. Back after 9 years, and they won't give me the position I requested.
And then I hear he gave up the defense attorney life. He? Who's he? An ex-defense attorney. Detective Sky?
Quiet, please. It's snack time.
And it's snack time again. Guess I should just move.
Oh, Mr. Eldoon! Hello!
Looks like he left.
John is stand and everything. What about our free bowl?
Oh, too bad. Looks like we'll have to wait a little longer for that bowl. So sorry.
Aw, what a bummer.
Ah, you're back. Run into some problems?
Oh, Polly, didn't you want to tell Daddy something?
Who, me? No, I'm fine, really. What's this? So there is a problem. No problem. Actually, I got a defense request. A defense request? That is a problem.
Huh?
I've given up the courts. I'm not a lawyer anymore.
The request was for me!
Oh, right, you're a lawyer, aren't you? Just doing that on purpose, I know it. So what about this defense request?
It's related to the murder in People Park, actually. Guess what? We found Mr. Eldoon's noodle stand at the scene of the crime.
Did you now? That's unusual indeed. Never heard of a noodle stand being used as a murder weapon. I think the murder weapon was something else. You mean you don't know what the murder weapon was?
That funny detective lady won't let us on the scene. What kind of detective wears a lab coat anyway?
A lab coat? Didn't think she'd be involved with this. You know her? You could say. So, you know her, don't you? I met her on a case. This was about 10 years ago. She was still a high school student at the time. That would make her about the same age as me.
That's my daddy. He knows all the police types. Oh, wait. Maybe you know that other guy, too.
That other guy?
That shining prince on the motorcycle.
Prince? Paula, tell me about this Prince of Trucy. Indulge a concerned father. He was at the crime scene. He looked just like Mr. Gavin. Did he now? You know him? My guess is he's Christoph Gavin's younger brother. His brother? We're acquaintances after a fashion. Clavier Gavin. Rock and roll guard incarnate.
Javier, what a lovely name. He's so dreamy.
I didn't know Mr. Gavin had a brother. And what was he doing out there? I have a feeling you'll be crossing paths again soon. Now, what was the problem again? Having trouble investigating the crime scene in the park? Yeah, that detective woman won't let us. Go to the office. Under the silk top hat, you'll find a bottle of white powder. Try taking that to this detective. White powder? Hope it's not what I think it is. Just take it to her. It'll be fine, you'll see. Oh, and tell her I said hi. I can show him everything. It's full. Never mind. So this must be the silk top hat Mr. Wright mentioned. Let's take a closer look. Huh? Wow! You know what this is, Trucy? I remember finding some in Daddy's dresser when I was little. I thought it was sugar, so I licked it. Got mad at me. This is getting more and more suspicious. Mysterious white powder with the alleged ability to improve Detective Sky's mood. Let's go talk to that detective. Be sure to know what that white powder is. Hit the wrong button. Does this ring any bells? Ah! Is that? It couldn't be. Where'd you get that? I brought it from the office. You work at the Wright & Co. law offices, yes? Yeah, sort of. Detective Sky, how do you know my daddy? The daddy? I'm sorry, who did you say you were? Percy Wright, Phoenix Wright's daughter. What? Mr. Wright has a daughter? I'm shocked. Well, if you're Mr. Wright's daughter and you're his apprentice, then I'm available to help you in any way I can. Oh, thanks. You can start by not calling me Mr. Wright's apprentice. This powder is used for detecting fingerprints. Fingerprints? I guess you might call it a memento from the time I spent with Mr. Wright. White powder memories. If you find any evidence with fingerprints on it, please let me know. Well, that's for prints. Well, she's quite the eager beaver all of a sudden. All of this stuff can be examined for fingerprints. Besides that map. And this. There's a number inscribed in the back of the badge. There are many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. The report came in late last night. The body was found much as you see it now. Except it was a real body. But why? Why was a body pulling a noodle stand? If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't still be here. Well, what was the cause of death? A bullet wound to the temple. He was shot by a pistol. A pistol? Not the easiest thing to come by in this day and age. Unless you're a cop or a gangster. Incidentally, the victim's name was Paul Meractus. I just received the autopsy report, in fact. I mean, really, what's up with this case? It's enough to make me want to run off, pulling a mysterious noodle stand behind me. Not so mysterious, actually. We should tell her, Apollo. After all, we know where the stand came from. A likely story. I didn't come here to play games, you know. Actually, we do know where the noodle stand came from. The noodle stand's owner is... Who's this old guy? This is the proprietor of Eldoon's Noodles, Mr. Eldoon himself. He's famous in this part of town. Not bad. I guess Mr. Wright picked the right kids for the job. That saved me a lot of work. Thanks. What sort of person was the victim anyway? You mean what did he do? He was a doctor. A doctor? Starting to see a connection here. Who? Me? I'm just a supervisor for this crime scene. Detective Sky. I was out of the country for a while. I came back to be a forensic scientist.
Oh, were you studying abroad? Something like that. I was studying in Europe. Forensic sciences, mind you. But when I got back here, they threw me in criminal affairs, just like that. Why didn't you just become a forensics expert in Europe? Well, I suppose that was an option, but I had a lot of favors to repay the people back here. Favors? Wasn't she in high school when she left? What? What's that look for? I was involved in an incident before I left. When Mr. Wright and his people helped me out, I owed them. Really? I had no idea. She's been out of the country for a while. She probably doesn't know about Mr. Wright's current, state of affairs. Could you tell us a bit about the defendant? He's the only son of the Kitaki family, yes? Waki Kitaki. I don't know if he is the boss's son, but he's certainly throwing his weight around. Hello, Nova and Pulse. How'd you doing? Thank you for stopping by. Violently in the detention center.
I'm still in the middle of the investigation phase of this case.
Why was he arrested in the first place? You are a defense attorney, aren't you? You're not his by any chance. Actually, yes, I am. Well, we have a witness at the moment of the crime.
Investigate away?
Aye, aye! The witness called the police. They'll be testifying during the trial tomorrow.
What?
Could you tell us a bit more about the victim? Well, let's see. Apparently he's a physician at a clinic in the area. Quite well off, too, from the sound of it. The clinic's name is the Miraculous Clinic.
Maybe that's why the cop car was parked there?
What? You've been to the clinic? Yeah, though on a related issue.
I told the detective about the case of the stolen noodle stand.
I see. That means Dr. Miraculous stole the stand and pulled it all the way here? That would seem to be the case. But why? Don't ask me. And this is Mr. Eldon's noodle stand, obviously.
It does say Eldon in big letters, doesn't it?
That mark on its paper lantern there looks familiar.
It's going to be a little weird telling him, what with the corpse and all.
Anyway, that wraps up 3 of our cases.
That's right. Congratulations, Apollo.
Leaves us with one case that's worse than all 3 put together. Murder. This mannequin is dressed up to look like a police officer. I've seen one at the station. A mannequin in place of a body. The body of the victim has already been removed.
Do you think the victim was the noodle stand thief?
What, you think someone killed him because he stole it?
Yeah! Taking care of business. Little flunky-tacky style.
Our schedules are going to be a bit off, but dropping a follow anyways for whenever I get a chance to check in.
Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it so much.
Try not to sound too eager about that, please.
If you're able to stick around, I hope you enjoy the rest of the stream.
Benches line the river running through the park.
Ah, a little urban oasis. I bet children come here to splash around in the water.
The river's a little deep for splashing, and a little dirty.
Well, they could listen to the water and pretend they were playing.
Why would they do that?
There's gotta be a good clue or two around here.
You and your trash cans. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
Please, can't you see I'm doing my... Huh? Look! Another pair of underwear!
Wow, Apollo! You're a genius at finding panties!
Stop saying that. Wait, these aren't.
They're not mine!
Could these have been stolen too?
Found in a trash can at People Park. Distinctive bloomers, to say the least.
It's a knife! A shiv, to be precise.
Ooh, lingo!
The defendant, Waki Kitaki, is the son of known gangsters.
The police are assuming this belongs to him.
Wait, but wasn't the murder weapon a pistol? Huh? Look at this, there's a handprint on this. A handprint? Then there might be a fingerprint.
Let's investigate.
Right.
First, choose the fingerprint you want to examine. Use a fingerprint. Look closely at the handle. See? There's more than one fingerprint there. Those black spots? That's right. Pick the one you want to analyze. Right, let's get detecting. Wow, she's practically glowing with excitement. First, sprinkle some aluminum powder over the print. With a press of A, like this, see? The oil left by the print absorbs the aluminum powder, so you just dust it on and blow it off. Blow? It's like whistling. You know how to whistle, don't you? Just use X and... Wow, amazing! It's like magic! Isn't it though? Right, let's give it a shot. Incidentally, it's important that you cover the entire fingerprint with the powder.
Nova and Pulse just redeemed Pat My Head.
Gigantify emote? Where is... I'm just gonna dust the entire screen, huh? My redeems are a little wonky right now, so sorry if you didn't see an actual head pat. I'll fix it. Ah, look at this scene. This screen. Covered in white powder. Now we can blow.
Good. Clear. Quite impressive. Next, to match the print. The police office has samples so you can tell whose finger this print belongs to. That doesn't sound like as much fun as actually finding the print. Okay, pick the person whose print you think this is. You probably have a good idea whose knife this is already. So, the fingerprints do belong to the defendant. Yes, isn't this amazing? Ah, the power of science. It's my life. Apollo, she's sparkling. And I'm dimming. Look sharp, spirits up. The real fight is yet to come. Chin up, Polly. The trial hasn't even started and I'm already losing. So, have you met the defendant? No. Visiting hours are almost over at the detention center. You might think about wrapping up here and heading over. Good idea. I don't know what good it will do. You have a witness and a knife with prints. Have I mentioned I've got a bad feeling about this? Don't worry. It's like a right tradition. Some traditions I can live without. I'm sorry, meeting hours for the day are all done. But we still have 3 minutes. I'll put in your request, but don't expect anything. The father's talking in the private room with him. The father? You mean like a priest? I mean the suspect's father, Mr. Winfred Big Wins Kitaki himself. Not someone I care to meet. Die, you! You're the one on your way out, old... they're here. Whoa! This guy radiates power! Power? With a cute apron? You Walkie's lawyer? Yes, sir! Well, I'm Big Wins Kitaki, 4th head of the Kitaki family, capiche? Actually, I came to speak to your son. Mr. Justice? Yes? My son's innocent. He killed no one. If he were to be found guilty, it wouldn't be good. Capiche? Yes, I'm all about capiching. Capiche loud and clear. You gotta do more than just understand to make it. You'll learn, though. Even if the lesson comes at the end of your short life. I don't feel so good. What's the big idea, old man? You can't treat me like a kid no more, not now. You know, I wanted to go to the clink. I like it here. He must be walking? A G's not a G till he does hard time. Bizooey. You'll see. When I get out of here, things will change. Silence! My apologies, Mr. Justice. He's usually such a nice boy. Forgive me if I have a hard time believing that. Ha! You can't take me under your wing this time, old man. You heard me? I don't need no trial. I did it. I think that's enough for today, Mr. Justice. Don't let me down tomorrow.
So much for talking to our clients. But we made so much progress today. We even found my Ponzi's. I had fun at least.
Of course, the biggest mystery of all remains. How am I supposed to build a case for the trial?
Oh, almost forgot. It's time for my show. Tonight I'm performing at the Wonder Bar. You should come check it out.
Why is it showing my bit skull?
When did it change from my followers goal to my bits goal? Bits happened? It did? Oh, the Gigantify. Thank you for the bits. Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injury was acting up.
Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday.
Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy.
Yes, fine. We'll be fine. Here comes Justice! Started my voice training at 5 this morning.
Ooh, do some now. I want to see. Here.
Huh? Oh, okay. My name is Apollo Justice, and I'm fine.
That sounds more like a self-mantra than voice training.
I'm fine. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Oh.
Ah, good morning.
Yo, sup? Hit me with the guilty verdict, G. See if I care. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Not really. Walkie, don't be running your mouth like that in here. See, that's the difference between you and... See, that's the difference between me and you, old man. I ain't afraid of no cops. A-cab. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Sounds like they've both been voice training too, Apollo.
My worst fears realized. The trial's starting and I still haven't had a real talk with my client.
Capiche?
Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie-Talkie. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready to rock and roll, Herr Judge.
Oh, it's him! The guy from yesterday! He's a prosecutor?
Mr. Gavin's brother. Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence? You know that little band I started in my free time? Thing is, we got real popular. That's not... I can only do like a fucking French accent, I swear. Hard to say nine to your friends when 3 of your singles go platinum, yeah? I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I fear that you might still be distraught over that one trial. Not to worry, El Judge. I wouldn't miss this day in court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, yeah? How could I pass up a chance to see the true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? It was worth canceling a show or two. Understood. You may give your opening statements to the court. Before that, I was thinking... Is the air in this courtroom not a bit serious? It is a court of law. That's no way to get the crowd jumping, Air Judge. Air Judge. How do I say...
Herr Judge.
Yeah. Okay, well, it is that.
That's no way to get the crowd jumping.
That's no way. Okay. Oh.
The way that I'm doing it is bad, but it's close to Google Translate, so. They're not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom. Action! Action, baby! Today we play it my way. What's that noise? Sometimes you have to get up in order to get down to prosecuting. This is crazy. The victim, Paul Morectis, director of the Morectis Clinic. The scene, People Park. He was found pulling a noodle stand. What in the world was the doctor doing pulling a noodle stand? Yes, I believe. You will only find that out by asking the defendant right here, right now. Because it's an undeniable truth that he shot the victim. What do you mean undeniable? If you are to glare at anyone, judge, glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. His crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see. Very well. Please admit this witness to the court. This is ridiculous. I love that. 9! Not yet! First, there is a little matter to be cleaned up. Could you talk without the accompaniment? And the bad accent?
I swear I could see the guitar for a second.
What is it, Prosecutor Gavin?
The motive, Judge.
Why did the little punk do it? Why did he kill the director of the Meraki Clinic?
Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that.
Oh?
But what if the defendant specifically requests to do so?
Fuck.
As he did this morning. I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said.
What? What is right?
They always say that on stage you should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like he got you good, huh, Polly?
Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive in the crime. So, you, son, are the defendant, Waki, aren't you?
I ain't your son, old man. You step to Kentucky, you best be prepared to step strong. You step to a public official, you'd best be prepared to step into jail. You gotta hand it to him, Waki. Sure has guts. It's not his guts I'm worried about.
Well then, the court will now hear testimony on the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself.
I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my ops, something bad. And then he just lets me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go in and get another doc to patch me up again. That was the day I done figured it out. No OG is gonna let that pass. That's why I went to his pad that night. Know what I'm saying?
You're saying you were one of the victim's patients?
A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street. True that. I tell you one thing, that doc was whack.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination. Can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all of this.
First of all, the word you're looking for is quack. And isn't that a little harsh? He's your family doctor.
Who asked you, pointy locks? Just who do you think you are?
Your lawyer?
Look, I ain't trying to hear that. He was a quacker, plain and simple.
By someone, you mean? Was there anyone with a score to settle with this doctor? Besides you, I mean.
You better ask somebody else, Holmes. What do I care? I made up my own mind and did what had to be done, straight gangster style. But why were you so mad at this doctor? Yo, sit back and listen while I drop it, J-Man.
So you were a patient at the Maractus Clinic half a year ago? For what reason?
I had what you might call a mark of honor.
Can you explain precisely what was wrong?
We had a little run-in with the Rivalis family. That's when I pulled a Jack move. And ran into an ambush. He busted a cap right in me.
According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. and ran in 15 minutes before the appointed time by yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys. So you were carried to the miraculous clinic from there? Apparently, he was shot in the heart. Shot in the heart and he's still alive?
I can catch bullets between my teeth. I never learned how to catch them with my heart.
The bullet stopped just short of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? I would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you see, the surgery was a failure. That ain't all of it, Holmes.
Hold it!
What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you mean? What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds bad.
It sounds as though a doctor wished to hide his mistake.
This is why he lets the defendant go. He's a liar straight up. He's a badder G than me.
Hold it!
So this bullet is still... You know it. I can still feel it. Right there in my chest, pressing up against my heart. Your words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. It is literally, that's from one of my... Fuck. Shit. Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles. Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice. Word, J-Man. Weren't no accident, that's for shizzle. It seems that there were issues with this doctor. Man, putting him down was like doing the world a favor. Bucky, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that.
Stand up, Apollo. Back straight.
But why did this mistake only come to light that day? He was found doing the family health checkup. The family health checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. All us G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better to die young than fade away, bizoy. A relief to hear. Eh? What's a relief? Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. What? Yes, Dr. Meraktis had knowledge concerning the ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life. No way, that's whacked. There is proof. Your checkup report. How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. Well, now that the place is open now, let's get this gig started. Started? We've had enough of a warm-up. We've had enough of a warm-up act, y'all. Time to hear from the witness. Bucky sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy?
Who the hell is this?
So, you will tell us your name and occupation. My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation, I take it you refer to profit society at large as important to life under which however we must, which is commonly attached to this notion of occupation. And once we have accepted this reality, we see that our confusion is not just thought per se, but derives instead from the vagueness inherent in all representations of the... By which he means to say he is a student. A junior at AV University, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, in the Department of Science and Engineering. Filled with curiosity for all things, I spend my days in pursuit of truth, honing my... El Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today. Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court about what you saw on the night of the crime. You ask, quite simplistically, what I saw. However, understand that Homo sapiens possess two eyes, these designed to receive and interpret data, sending images in the form of signals. A night in the park. That night, I passed through the park on my way home from shopping, when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man facing the victim was the defendant. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot! The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead. Was there anyone else in the park at that time? I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not. The pistol or witness refers to is this. The court accepts this into evidence. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Trucy, why are you staring like that at the witness?
That man. I can't help but feel like I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, whoops! I didn't need to do that.
Damn it.
Didn't mean to press X. But it says that there were fingerprints. I get them. Patient's name, Waki Kitaki, age 19, male. Report filed June 14th. Notes, metallic object found near heart. Urgent exam needed. Whenever you get a second, I had an accessibility question. Oh, go ahead.
These bloomers sure have a distinct design.
You certainly know who they belong to at a glance.
That way, she doesn't have to write her name on them.
I would think writing your name would be easier than drawing a plum blossom. The label reads, fingerprint powder in some strange language.
How do we know for sure? What if this is really a jar for something else, like jam or honey?
Why would anyone go through this trouble? Been seeing a few streamers successfully using closed caption on stream. The times I tried adding those, they never work for me, so I like to know what folks are using. Oh, find it. This is the plugin people are using.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking the question. Well, so the police don't find out, that's why.
I hardly think possessing fingerprint powder is a crime.
Oh, huh, I guess. That's boring.
Wait, can I... Doesn't look like I can, spray the powder on anything. I don't know whose phone this is. On the way home from shopping, you say? Why go through the park? Ah, a fascinating inquiry, revealing me culpable of being insufficiently verbose. Let us consider the time saved by passing through the park on the way home from the store. In that time, I am capable of solving 2 GMAP problem sets. On average, it requires me 3 minutes 24 seconds. Ergo, the time to complete 2 is on average 6 minutes 48 seconds. However, in the case that the questions are in the verbal category, admittedly not... That's enough! Enough! I get the idea. Mr. Justice, the court hopes to finish cross-examination sometime this month. Please, I have a recruiting booked after this trial.
And I've got a show to perform.
Geez, sorry you're all busy.
Hold it!
Were these men talking by any chance? Now that you mention it, they were, though I cannot claim I heard them clearly. Only fragments, such as you lied to me. Oh, and I'm gonna give you a taste of your own medicine, pal.
It's just as our defendant claims. I believe he wished to teach the victim what it felt like to take a bullet in the heart.
If that's true, then this is a vital piece of testimony. Sounds like you heard them clearly enough to me. Hold it! Might I be allowed to amend my testimony? What now? To be precise, he did not say pal but man. Yes, that was the way of it. I swear it on my diploma. What's the difference?
And this was a man. Who was he?
How can you be so sure it was the defendant? The crime took place at night. It would have been too dark. Perhaps I was remiss in not mentioning this earlier. Huh? You see, in class, I always sat in the very backmost seat. Do you know why? Who cares? Because I do not wish anyone to copy my perfect notes. And this relates to your testimony, how? I mentioned this to illustrate my predisposition to that which is perfect. It was dark, you say, yet there were lights in the park. If I say the defendant was in the park that night, then he was in the park that night. It is a hard, immutable fact.
There is confidence.
You seem to be telling the truth, too.
Hold it!
Are you sure the pistol you saw is the same as the one just submitted as evidence? Am I sure? Surely you jest. Or so a common witness will be tempted to say. Huh? Yet I am no common witness. I see not only events as they are, but the logical structure governing these events. First, we must consider the fact that it was night in the park, which indeed restricted my field of vision due to insufficient levels of illumination. Now we consider that the pistol of color object A was indeed shrouded in darkness. It becomes difficult to say with certainty object A was indeed object A.
I think he means he couldn't see it that clearly.
My badge for a normal witness. Yet the fact that a pistol was fired before my eyes is indisputable. I can still see when I close my eyes. The defendant raised his weapon.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely certain only one shot was fired? Yes, of course it was one shot. Why do you ask? Aha! A contradiction, finally! Mr. Stickler, according to the court record, the pistol was fired twice. A clear contradiction. Good eyes, El Justice. You're cool. Real cool. You really think so? Yet, there is no reason why this one other shot had been fired that night. Meaning? This pistol came from the Kitaki family mansion, yeah? I think it's not unreasonable to assume the pistol had been fired once more before that night. During perhaps another altercation? He's got a point.
Judging from his smug expression, I'd say Prosecutor Gavin had that answer ready before he even spotted the problem.
He seems pretty confident in his testimony.
We always make the biggest mistake when we're our most confident. He's got a weak point somewhere, Apollo. Find it.
Right. Better give that testimony another listen. Okay. When I saw them, man pulling a stand. The man facing the victim was the defendant. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. To the right temple.
Objection!
Whew, if that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Is that you? Relaxing, I see, judge this. Huh? Oh, objection! Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice.
Apollo, pace yourself. The trial's not over yet.
Right. Look at this. The autopsy report. Is there a problem with the autopsy report? Right, a problem. Problem. Yes, the problem is the location of the entry wound. The location? You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not? I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It's quite simple, really. First, understand that when I say square, I speak not of geometrical absolute. What do I mean by this? For example, the deflection of a meter is the wavelength of the light emitted by a krypton particle, as we all know. In addition, it is well known that krypton particles are rare, which points to a basic fallacy in your line of reasoning, meaning... Which points to a basic fallacy in your line of reasoning, namely that... Mr. Justice? Yes? Was your objection to these, krypton particle things? This is the big time, and you are obsessed with something so small? You disappoint me. No! I'm obsessed with something big! I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here. Do tell. Just look at the autopsy report. Location of the entry wound was the right temple. Temple? Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly that the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right? Finally!
Objection!
Air Justice. Oh, Air Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated. Trying to shake the weakness by objecting to trifles? Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wounds your master suffered 7 years ago? Phoenix Wright, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to his testimony. Yuck! Air forehead. Forehead? Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see two men facing each other, one with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, Air forehead? Well, I guess I would try to stop them. I'd probably shout, "Stop!" And you, Fraulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream, "Eee!" And you, Herr Stickler? What did you shout, I wonder? Ah! If the victim turned his head at the last moment... yes. Thank you for jogging my memory. It sounds like an addendum to the testimony is required. Oh my god. I just realized that the game was cut off. Sorry, I was playing Nancy Drew yesterday, and the game, required me to crop it. It's actually perfect on the vertical live stream. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. "Cease this at once, you two!" I cried, with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. I see, so you attempted to stop the crime. Indeed, with composure. Well, maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if he hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram if you would. The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it? Stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please!" or something of this matter. And the victim responded by looking in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired at just that moment, as we can see, the bullet would have struck the right temple, as in the report. That does seem to be the case. Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University Department of Science. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may cross-examine this witness. As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. So you saw a raised pistol. Weren't you frightened? scary bot gets every spam bot. It's beautiful to watch. It can be said we students of Ivy University know no fear. The moment I saw that pistol, my inner sense of justice compelled me to take action. That was certainly brave of you. You might have gotten shot. Eh? He certainly was lucky. If I were in the killer's shoes, I certainly wouldn't have left a witness behind. Ah! He actually looks like he had no idea he was in danger. Regardless, I attempted to halt the bloodshed. Cease this at once, you two, I cried, with composure.
Hold it!
Are you sure both men were able to hear your voice? They were, of course. My high, exquisite voice echoed through the park, and the victim responded to that clarion call. Wait! The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and a shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, whoops, I forgot to press.
Hold it!
You hear the gunshot at the same time as the victim turned? Indeed, I would say about the same time to be precise. And the victim didn't ask you for help? It can be said that he didn't have time to ask. He didn't even have time to take a single step. I'm totally sure that the killer fired because Mr. Stickler startled him. Don't say that too loud, Trusty, please. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened.
Hold it!
Can you describe the killer's actions more clearly? He seemed quite surprised, especially considering that it was he who did the deed. As we can see, human psychology is a tangled web indeed. He simply couldn't believe what he had done. He shot, he panicked. A common tale, but true. Unfortunately, before I could take further action, tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
Hold it!
You didn't try to apprehend the criminal? It all happened so fast, and I'm not a fucking cop! I'm a university student! Why would I try and go after someone who has shot another person? I'd rather attend to the victim's side and call an ambulance! You fucking ding-dong! I'm afraid I hadn't the time. Doesn't something about that strike you as odd, Apollo? What? The killer was in a hurry, right? He fired the pistol and tossed it right away. According to the testimony, that's what happened, yes. In that case, I'd expect to find something that we didn't find. Find something? Find what? I liked that contradiction. Kinda sad to see it go. Not as sad as I feel. What do we do now? At least the testimony's getting a little clearer. She's right. Maybe I can find something to use in this new testimony. Oh, okay. Fire twice. Fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Fingerprint, probably. Wait a second. Tisk, another misleading request. Get yourself beholden to your own mode of discourse. You can't see how it affects you. Come again? Wait a second, you say? A second? Are we intended to wait just that, a single second? 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw a breath, let alone make a statement in court. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes 35 seconds, Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second? Yes. No. Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it. Ah, a cop employee made all the more common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints. Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints. Oh! Ah, the little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there.
I'm not little.
Then let's sing like adults, shall we, Fraulein? Eh? What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves?
But admit, I didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice, the killer have been wearing gloves? No way. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were white, which means some trace of prints remains, which contradicts your testimony. I forgot to use my Apollo voice. My bad.
If everything happens as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol. That's maybe, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And this pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this was the weapon he disposed of.
That sounds solid to me. Well, Air Forehead, any of your precious objections?
What gives, Apollo? Let's see that voice training get to work.
You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say.
What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said?
Huh? Isn't what obvious?
When he restated what he said just now, he said he saw Walkie drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Walkie threw away.
You're right.
He's just confused because the pistol was found at the scene. Oh, Mr. Stickler, it must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong. Well, it can be said that I'm quite offended. While it is indeed true that once in my youth I wrote a love letter that was seized by the teacher and posted in the blackboard for all to see, and for this, the appellation poor might well be prefixed to my name. As for the...
Well, we can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defense have anything to say about this?
Well, if what he threw wasn't a pistol,
then it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Ugh! I'll wipe that smile off your pretty face, Gavin. I'm also bisexual. Perhaps you can inform the courts as to the nature of this something else? What did the killer throw away before fleeing the scene? Whoops. Whoops.
Take that!
Is that a sword? I saw one of those in a late night movie last night. Great, a sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it. His prints? This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves. Indeed. Oh, and forehead. You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, that the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Voki Kitaki. Two, that the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh! Indeed. Never underestimated Gavin is the lesson here. This court is of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later, his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop for a traffic light. Assuming. Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are assuming that my assumption is no better.
Ahem. What this court assumes is that the witness will testify as to what happened after the shot was fired.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
I think I have your cell phone? Then? The only cell phone I've found so far. Why didn't you chase the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course I could have run him down, yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that.
Does the testimony earlier now prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also now know that there was no one else there? It seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not? Does it not, Mr. Justice? I better find a way to take this testimony down quick. Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
That would mean he ran in the opposite direction for the Kitaki mansion. Action! Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was look back once he was out of sight. Ugh, how did he know that's where I was going? You were certainly composed for someone who had just witnessed the killing.
If one is to devote one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask upon the lab room floor.
Ooh, cool answer. Very cool. So nothing strange about how we acted. Susie looks like she has something to say. Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite.
He actually looks like he's going to cry. Can you tell us in detail about what happened? Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes?
I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It was late at night. It's not odd to think that there would be few people around in the park. So we just stood there watching? How much to go on there? Sissy, if you got something to say, by all means, say it. Ugh, I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Isn't nothing less, air forehead. Perhaps maybe it's time to back off a little bit? No. The defense still has some questions that demand answers, Your Honor. Your opinion, Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, let him play attorney until he's satisfied, I say. I will amuse myself by composing my next smash hit in my head. Very well. You may continue with the cross-examination. What? I almost presented. Okay, the park. So we ran in the opposite direction of Kitaki Mansion. Not the panty thief? Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Well, at least it's super hold it. Maybe there isn't anything left to unravel in this testimony after all. Some of us have glamorous careers we'd like to get back to his months air for aid. They don't have enough to put Walkie away yet. Should I back off for now? There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all. It appears there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake befitting of a small-time punk, in my opinion. No. No! It seems we've come to the end of the line here. Oh, that can't be all. How unfortunate. It seems you weren't cut out to stand on the same stage as me. But you, Airfoot, I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. The court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Walkie-Talkie.
Hold it!
Brucey! Nobody move. What's the meaning of this? Who are you? There'll be no verdict in this court, not yet.
Wait, are you one of the Kitakis?
The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters? You don't want to see me give the pretty little girl a new smile, do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes. What? This court will not bow to pressure from the likes of a judge.
I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman.
Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you'll regret it. Wait! How do you disappear so fast?
Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo.
I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man! Brucey! Brucey?
Alright, Melody, hope you solved the case. I gotta do a thing and then eat dinner. Stay cool. Bye-bye. Thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you in another stream. Have a great dinner.
You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show. Brucey, you're okay. I thought...
Don't cry, Apollo.
Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else...
Ah! What the heck is that?
Surprise? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat.
You look marvelous, darling.
He's a big hit on stage at the Wonder Bar.
Yes, I am a big hit. Ha ha ha.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it?
You mean you... Brucey, there are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here.
Huh?
Remember what you said to Walkie's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son.
But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do?
Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will.
Brucey, no more stage abductions, please.
I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got.
You can see what he's feeling?
Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times.
All the times there was a contradiction? Well, I think I remember them. Sure.
There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in, and each time there was a contradiction. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene. He said the man tossed aside a pistol, but it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction.
Well, that's true, but how does that help us?
Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. In his hand, he held, yes, a pistol. He was pulling the stand. Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense and he fumbled with the corner of a page in his book.
How am I supposed to see that?
Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker?
What?
I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling.
You mean that's how Mr. Right won all those games?
It's not cheating, officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long.
Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this.
You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth.
Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose.
Not true. Daddy said so. He said you had the power, Apollo.
Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Are you serious?
Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo.
What was that she said before the trial started? Huh, Mr. Wright's not here today?
He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy.
Is what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice. Let's do it.
Apollo!
You know, I'm starting to think I can do this.
I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best as you can.
I just flew in from the coast and boy, are my arms tired.
Right.
Bye. Court is now back in session.
Right, we're fine.
Ahem. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice.
Oh, you mean me?
Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Right, him! Don't worry about him. I settled that. You settled that?
Yes. It was an out-of-court settlement. Right.
Perhaps Farline would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right?
I think he's onto me.
I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with these niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness?
Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. But because I forgot to ask something.
There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your requests, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time.
Understood, Your Honor. Don't forget Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. Nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Here go. I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all.
Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spots.
Focus. Only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? What's this? My bracelet? What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow.
I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony.
I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. You called immediately after witnessing the murder? The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo. This has to be it. Wait, you mean his habit? Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. The only time he even had the book open was here, which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. Know what? It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness. Your bracelet? Not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Trucy. But I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet with X as it reacts to the testimony. What's going on? I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly. It's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Apollo? Lucy, what's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing. In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out. Just look for Mr. Stifler's switch, his habit. Remember it, right? Sure, when he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book. You got it. Right now, you're looking at the witness's face, and your eyes are sort of bugging out. I'll bet they are. First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand. His hands? You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place. He's right. I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint. Perfect! Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Eve. Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for his habits. Right. You mean when he fiddles with the page? That's right! That's your signal to look closer, to perceive with X. Find his weak spot and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true poker head to daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words, and his fingers. Don't worry if you miss it, you can always try again. Right. Look out, nervous twitch, here comes justice. Ergo, I used my cell phone.
Gotcha!
I saw it, just now. I could see it. Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? All this banging of desks is quite bad for my circulation, you know? Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone. What are you talking about? I'm curious now about the cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? Ask to see his phone. Mr. Stickler, please show me your cell phone. Yeah? Why? Whatever for? Show me and you'll find out. Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't have it? Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone? No! Where did you get that? That's the phone from yesterday. Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moves, it would be crushed for sure. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here? How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment? Wait a moment. What is the meaning of this? This cell phone was found yesterday in the Miraculous Clinic garage. The Miraculous... Why, that's where the victim lived. Yeah! That's impossible! Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police? Oh, it's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone? So you didn't call on your cell phone after all. Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler? Well, to indicate with a startlingly high degree of accuracy, it was right around here. That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie? There can only be one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage. What are you talking about? Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Miraculous Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all. But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime, as though I were trying to kill him. Well, Dr. Miraculous was killed that night. Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true. I lost my cell phone, but you can't prove that I lost it that night. Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to a connection with the crime.
Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime.
Oh, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence that can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder? Of course I have evidence. Ooh, I like your swagger. As for it, eat it. The court will see it as evidence, Mr. Justice. Mr. Justice hit it, as they say.
The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is...
I'll try the bloomer.
Take that!
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, no comment, el judge.
Apollo, remember where we found that cell phone? If it had fallen on the ground before that night...
That's right, the cell phone would have been crushed. Okay. Your Honor, one more chance, please. Mr. Justice, keep this up and you'll run yourself out of a life's worth of chances. Okay, so it's this.
Take that!
That's a side view mirror?
As it so happens, Dr. Miraculous's car was in an accident. That took place the night of the murder. An accident!
An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m. just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Miraculous's car hit a pedestrian.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel.
Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. Woo!
Mr. Stickler, you know what this means? It did break into the victim's garage that night. This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Paul Miraculous?
No! Stop it! That is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor! Say something!
I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Paul Miraculous. That is, other than this. I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilt.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all as clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene.
Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage.
Yes, well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know?
Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please. That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony.
His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around.
Right. No problem. I hope. Here comes justice! So you went shopping, which means you were holding a grocery bag when you witnessed the murder taking place? Well, yes, of course! Incidentally, the prosecution has received no report of this domestic detail. Mr. Stickler, can you explain yourself? No! I mean, yes! I did go shopping, really! I walked around the supermarket trying out the free samples! It's a deeply spiritual time for me. I'm sure the store clerks would disagree. Do you think sampling free food counts as a religion? In any case, that night, I sampled to my heart's content and was on my way back home, yes! I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back! And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime.
Hold it!
Whoops. I meant to hold it on the second statement. That's when you passed in front of the Muratka's clinic? Why, yes, that's correct. That was a pretty suspicious pause there. Mr. Stickler, do you think you could be a bit more specific? Please show us the exact route you took on the night of the murder. Of course! The supermarket is here along the main road. My way home from there takes me past the Muratka's clinic. This is probably when I dropped my cell phone. Yet slow as I walked on unaware of my loss. And walked right into that fateful park. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime.
Hold it!
Which entrance did you enter the park from? Well, to be exact, one might say that I went in from the entrance closest to Max's clinic. The same entrance our victim used. Did you notice anything from when you entered? Wheel marks from a noodle stand, for instance? I have no recollection of such a thing, no. Yet, though I might have missed the tracks, I could not miss what happened next. I am a keen observer of the obvious, you might say.
Hold it!
This part of the testimony is the key, I know it. Did I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand? You could see the victim quite clearly, too. Oh, clear as can be, I assure you. I see. So, how do you look? How? How do you mean, how? Be specific. I mean in general. The defense will refrain from straining to come up with questions. Find the question that lies in your heart and ask that. Yes, Your Honor. Great, a judge who moonlights as a self-help guru.
Hold it!
Hey, press him about the killer. Are you sure you remember the killer clearly? How many times must I repeat myself? It was him, that unscrupulous, fox-like fellow in the defendant's chair. He was looking even more unscrupulous at the time, no less. He does look a bit like one of those trickster foxes in Legends of Yore. I guess the killer's identity is already old territory. Time to ask something new. Okay, let's ask him about the stand this time. Are you absolutely sure that was... Stop asking me the same questions over and over! This isn't some kind of makeup test! What's a makeup test, Apollo? Nothing a good student like you has to worry about. Trying to find his weak spot and press it till he breaks. His habit isn't acting up, which means he isn't lying. I'm kind of relying on my bracelet to get me through this one. But he's pretty unsettled. The odds are really high that you can get something out of him. That gleam in your eyes. You're a gambler's daughter through and through. I'm a magician, thank you very much.
Hold it!
Are you... Oh, so I accidentally asked on that one instead of this one.
Hold it!
Do you happen to remember the noodle stand? Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes, that was it. Remembering something quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice? What about that sign? Could that be important? Let me look at it. It does not say that. It says Eludel. Eldun. But it says noodle on the back.
Huh? Look at this, Apollo. Mr. Eldon spelled his name backwards on this side.
I think that says noodle.
As in Eldon's Noodles. Oh, I get it. The name of his store is the same whether you read it forward or backwards.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Well, except for the last S. Then how about a store called Team Meat?
Close, but that would be T-A-E-M-M-A-E-T backwards. And what kind of store is that?
Why, a store that sells meat is not meat unless it's Team Meat.
So the sign on the noodle stand said noodle? It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony. Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match up to IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for a taste of our smart noodles.
I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself.
Hold it!
So the sign said noodle. You're absolutely sure.
Let me be frank. Yes. In fact, the word unsure isn't even in my dictionary, nor the word uncertain, or...
He was wasting time looking that stuff up?
Noodle.
Noodle, eh? I like that. It tells you what you're getting, no nonsense.
Tells me a lot more than that, actually. Why are you smiling like that, Apollo?
Present?
Objection!
And you're absolutely sure the sign read noodle?
Why, just last week my professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. It read, without a doubt, noodle.
I see.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? That pity I see in your eyes?
Let's take a look at our map, shall we? So you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing here, was it? Although, it would have been hard to read the sign from this spot.
You think so?
Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand, and to carefully read what the sign says. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand owner. Eldunes.
Inconceivable! I'm certain it was definitely noodle for sure, positive.
I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight. I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle. And he saw it right. What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would be read the way Mr. Stickler claims?
What?
Mr. Justice, show us this spot. The witness actually viewed the stand from this location.
Take that!
The witness was standing here, on the opposite side. How do you know that?
When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads Eldunes, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand.
Oh, this side says noodle.
Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back signs.
Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
Oh, no! You got me!
Objection!
So what?
So what?
What does it matter if you saw the killing from the north or the south side? It makes no difference at all.
He's right! Travel far enough to the south and you will end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning.
Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change?
Changes everything, Apollo.
Percy?
Remember his testimony from before. Though to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. and the victim are facing each other here. Then, at the moment the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point the victim turns his head to look, and the killer fires his pistol. That's where the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right, but if Mr. Stickler were standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario. Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in his direction, the bullet would have had to hit his left temple.
Oh!
In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible.
That's right.
So, now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the wound location takes on an entirely different meaning.
Indeed. You are absolutely correct, Farlin. What meaning?
The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north.
North. Ah! But that's where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing.
Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself.
Order, order, order.
Wow, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. She flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out.
Objection!
Clarify 1 point if you would. Clarify 1 point for me if you would, if for it. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder?
Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer. So, please, look aside! I'm really a nice guy! All my friends say so!
Let's hear what the defense has to say. What are you going to do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? Accused of another crime. I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why now.
The word confession isn't in my dictionary!
Tisk air forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate El Stickler's silence. Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing the witness just now for a crime other than murder. Your reason? The court's all ears.
I know he's guilty of something, but what crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime?
Your evidence? The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in a crime.
Take that!
Something tells me this isn't one of those good silences. Something else to say, Mr. Justice? One more chance, please? What? Okay. Brand new penalty. Okay, is it the other pair of bloomers?
Take that!
The evidence is this! What? Is that women's underwear?
Hey, those are mine!
Don't look at me like that! Order! Order! Mr. Stickler, while I can't say this comes as a shock,
It's not what it seems! By Pythagoras' theorem, I swear it!
on the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a candy snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in no other place than the Marath Kids Clinic garage. Aha! Incidentally, These panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree! Please, hear me out! It's not what it looks like! Order, order, order! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed. It's not what it... So, are we to understand that you were silent not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments?
Ahem! Perhaps you are not aware that my school's name was originally written for. I stands for intelligence, V stands for valiance.
Your point?
I'm not done. Now, I'm a major in the science department. And what does science take if not curiosity? Yes, we of the IVU Science Department are valiantly curious. No challenge is too daunting, and what greater challenge to science than a mystery?
Objection!
Come on, you're talking about a girl's panties here.
No, you do not understand. A mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, those panties are the promised land. We're talking about a 15-year-old girl. She is a minor. She is a child. Woohoo! From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate. For science! A full-size car tire was only the first mystery those panties revealed.
A tire?
Yes! I saw her do it! She pulled a tire out of those panties! But that's not all! First there was the tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken! One mystery after another. It was magic! Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar.
Huh?
He's talking about a magic panties trick. I just don't understand. A broom from a pair of panties. It mocks the very laws of physics.
A broom and a frozen chicken, Trucy? Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits? But Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties to understand a magic trick?
You say panties, but they are so much more than that. For me, they are an object for serious study.
I wonder. There has been a recent rash of panty snatchings in the area. Were they all you?
I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied a pair of panties flapping in the breeze, that was me. Maybe this would be the pair.
I'm gonna wait until he's done talking, and then I'm gonna read it all.
Each time I spied a pair of panties flapping in the breeze, I thought maybe this would be the pair that would elucidate the mystery. Even that night, as she chased me through the streets, I wept tears of joy. Perhaps this is the night that I will seize the truth that lies within those panties. Yet woe was I, for once again the lacy heart pattern truth slipped through my fingers.
Still, that leaves one thing unexplained. You refer to the witness's other lie, yes? The witness claims he saw the crime from the south, but was in fact in the north. Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that? Be my guest, aired forehead. Me? Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then does the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea?
Apollo, there's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a...
Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show where the witness lied about his location?
Take that!
The evidence that shows why he lied is this. What? More panties! How many panties are you carrying in your pocket, Ed for Ed? These are the last. Honest. These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood. Mr. Stickler, you didn't.
Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties.
So, these Ponties are your handiwork as well.
That night, I had been chased, hounded into the Maractus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
I hid in the garage for a short while. Then, abandoning the Ponties, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl worked, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion. A giant pair of Ponties!
Apparently, he didn't know those bloomers belonged to the mob.
I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder.
The murder of Mr. Maractus. Maractus. I keep saying Maractus instead of Maractus. My bad.
I reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me?
That's when you dispose of the bloomers?
Yes, it was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne.
A fascinating if disturbing tale. I believe this brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial. One last thing, if I might. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Regardless of where we ended today, some vital points were made. Namely that the defendant, Waki Kitaki, was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Waki Kitaki has a clear motive. Indeed, the defendant Waki Kitaki is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there was no one else on the scene at the time. Yet, a mystery remains. The location of the wounds in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation from both the defense and prosecution. Yeah, baby. No problem. Very well. This brings the trial for the day to a close. Court is adjourned. I feel like that should be the end of the stream. Oh, it's okay. So it's been 3.5 hours. That seems like a good enough time. I'm gonna send everyone over to Fish Girl Moira. She is currently playing Cat Cafe Manager.
Say hello to Moira for me.